How's it going?
Hey, what's up? I guess I'm doing another one of these random squirrel things, so you have to bear with me, I guess. The reason I wanted to do this one was very simply because of the world I choose to appear in when I have these little ramblings, conversations with people. And I just wanted to make sure everybody knew that I don't personally have any association with Rockstar or Grand Theft Auto or anything like that.
Hey, bro.
So I'm not getting paid to promote their game or anything like that. There's nothing like that going on. It's just, I don't have a computer. I don't have a web camera. I don't have editing software other than SHAREfactory on the PlayStation. I don't work for PlayStation, and I'm not trying to make this a commercial for SHAREfactory, but, I do appreciate that I have the abilities to make these short little videos like this and then kind of have maybe a place to use as a diary to put my thoughts down that I could share with other people in a way that's kind of different and sort of entertaining and uses a medium that a lot of people are familiar with to sort of, bring everybody down to the kind of the same level to at least give us something we all know we can relate with. Because anybody who's probably watching this and has continued to watch it up to the third one now is no doubt at least a little bit a GTA fan or somebody who's played it or has heard of it and who's aware of its existence in society. And well, that being said, I mean, it needs to be known also that if you're not familiar with it, and you're watching me do these videos and you happen to have kids or maybe you are a kid or something, well, yeah, it's cool. Welcome. I'm not going to do anything in my videos that's shouldn't be seen by children, and I'm not going to go into the strip club or violently murder 50 people for no reason. I mean, I might curse and swear here and there, so sorry about that. Like I said before, I'm not trying to be offensive. It just sort of happens. It's kind of like farts, you try and keep them in most of the time, but every once in a while something sneaks out and you try and forget about it because everybody farts, right? Like, it's just life. Anyway, well, there we go. That was your very first fart, Squirrel. I got distracted by flatulence, and I have no friggin' idea where I was going. Right, so this world here that I'm in, GTA, really, it has a mature rating for a reason. All right, I guess is what I'm saying. So don't go out and get this game and give it to your kids, or as a kid, play this game without stopping to think about the fact that this was created for adults, at least people over the age of 18, whether that makes them an adult or not. Well, that's a whole other conversation. I've met people that were a hell of a lot older than 18 that I wouldn't consider adults. That's just my opinion, but whatever. Anyway, so I was going to kind of go on about that for a bit, but I think maybe I'm going to kind of sort of go off maybe about maturity and more like it doesn't necessarily mean an age, like you've been existing in a body for X amount of minutes or days, and then suddenly makes you qualified to experience something, in a mature way. People get life experience in different speeds, and have different opportunities to experience different things. So I mean, there might be 10, 12-year-olds out there that could play something like this and be just fine. Like maybe their parents told them they're not allowed to go to the strip club. A little too young to kind of process. But I think they're trying to make a point about society with the strip clubs in there. Like, I don't know. Maybe it's just maybe it's just blatant titillation. I don't know. There's a place for that too. I mean, everybody likes to get turned on, I guess, if you're a mature kind of a person and you understand that the pleasures of respectful, joyful, sort of mutual giving kind of intimacy. It's just a beautiful thing if it's done properly. And that whole thing's a whole other thing. I'm not going to get into a conversation about the fact that really they included a strip club in this. Because, I mean, the strip clubs out there in the world, that people go into all the time. They want to look at other naked people, and maybe they don't have someone who can look at themselves who's naked. And they just got to kind of get it where they can. I mean, how first time I went to a strip club, really. It was the first time I'd ever seen a naked, beautiful woman, or someone who I thought was beautiful. So fuck, I was curious, I had a girlfriend or two by then, and I may or may not allegedly have had sex by then. That's, in case my mother's watching, I guess. But, it was always kind of, at that age, for me at least, it was still a very kind of a shy thing, and it was done in the dark kind of a thing, and it was, everything wasn't just out on display. So, I'd found, like any kid that had grown up in the 80s, a random porn magazine in the woods somewhere. Don't ask, it's an 80s thing. It happened. Random woods porn. And if you were lucky, it wasn't something like Playgirl. I mean, maybe if you're into that sort of thing, that's your lucky day. But I would very happy if I found a magazine full of naked girls and stuff I'd never seen before. I wanted to learn. Anyway, but so yeah, I guess I kind of half had a conversation. I was trying not to, but the maturity. Let's get back to that before these fucking squirrels get me again. There's a certain kind of life experience that can make an experience like Grand Theft Auto almost a kind of a therapeutic sort of a thing. Like me personally speaking, myself, I mean, I've been to the beach before on a hot summer day. I felt the boardwalk and, under my bare feet, and been burned by red hot friggin' nails that you step on because you've been out in the sun all day, and it sucks. And you drop your ice cream, and that's all part of going to the beach. There's sand everywhere. You're chafed for days, but it always wound up being fun, right? Even though half the time it's boiling hot and you're sweating your hole off. The point I'm trying to make is I can stand here in this game and be at this beach. And personally speaking, I have back problems. I'm in pain every day. It's just I don't always have the want or the need or the ability to go stand at the beach and think about shit. But because I've actually experienced it, and I can come in here and do it, and I can hear the sound of the waves. Maybe it's not coming through in the video, but I can hear waves, seagulls, people walking on the sand, sea-doo going by. I know what it smells like. I've smelt the beach, and I've smelt the nasty seaweed, dead fish smell of under piers like this one, and I'm exploring, stubbed my toe on rocks, and found dead jellyfish, poked them with sticks and all that. So I can flesh out this sort of pseudo three-dimensional virtual experience with overlay with memories of my own experiences and make it a richer experience. I know what it's like to drive a car. I've driven one. I've gone for my driving tests and stuff, and it's well, kind of nothing like this, but in a general sense, the physics apply. And I'm convinced there's a couple of occasions where having played a lot of games like Grand Theft Auto, Need for Speed, stuff like that, Gran Turismo, ones that tended to have at least somewhat sort of attention to realistic sort of physics. And I instinctively kind of learned how to react in situations in more or less the right way because of the physics involved in the more modern kind of driving games. And I'm pretty sure it saved my ass on a couple of occasions, because I reacted without thinking. I just sort of knew how to get a car out of a sudden slide, and it saved my ass. And the buttons are different. I'm using my right finger to accelerate, my left finger to slow down. But you put your foot on the right pedal to speed up, and your left pedal to slow down. You turn the wheel left and right. It's kind of the same basic principle. But in the same respect, people who don't have life experience, enough to have actually done a lot of these things themselves, and in a very kind of innocuous, sort of innocent-seeming way, might hop in a car in a game, just like my big Landy out here with Boss Hog Wagon, and be driving along, and it's not so easy. They might screw up, and they're like, oh, oops, oh, sorry, actually, sorry, I thought I said I wasn't doing anything too horrible, but I was making a point with that. He's okay anyway. See, he's running away. He's fine, anyway. But you can do stuff like that, and they're not real people, that nobody's actually getting hurt. You might have the police chase you, and you get arrested. They might shoot you and kill you or whatever. Like, you could make for a very horrible day in the world of Grand Theft Auto, but what worries me sometimes is people who, like, you know, if young kids and stuff are allowed to play stuff like this successfully, and their first experience with driving is in a world like this where the pedestrians don't matter. I mean, it doesn't register for them when there's a pedestrian on the street because they just mow them over and kind of keep on going with their day consequence free. Well, I mean, if that sort of thing becomes ingrained kind of muscle memory and it's just the way they react, like if somebody steps out in the street in front of them in real life and their instinctive reaction is to just keep going because it doesn't fucking matter, then, like, is that shit likely to happen? Are people going to get run over because kids aren't used to avoiding pedestrians? Like, and I was wondering this because I was playing the game, you know, I mean, I play it all the time. It's fun. I like to go for drives and, you know, be able to go really fast, and it doesn't matter if I run into shit. You know, I don't have to pay to get the car fixed, right? Or go to somebody's funeral or something, or I no longer live with the guilt of having paralyzed someone or killed a busload of nuns, you know, it's whatever. But a truckload of squirrels apparently. Cause see that over there? That's up there. That's where my point went, up there somewhere. Yeah, I noticed this because I was driving, right? And having my first experience driving being, you know, actually driving, like getting a driver's license and driving tractors and four-wheelers and shit when I was a kid, you know. And it's my natural instinct when I play this game, if a pedestrian jumps out in the street, or if I'm driving across a sidewalk to avoid the cops or driving an alley or something, my natural instinct is to avoid the pedestrians, you know. And I know they're not real. I don't have to avoid them. Sometimes I'd probably do a lot better if I didn't instinctively avoid the pedestrians. But, you know, because of the life experience I have and how I learned to drive and in the world I learned to drive, and the pedestrians were people, like, you know. So balance, I guess, is just kind of where I'm going with this. Like, it's in anything, you know. That's just an example of driving, but I mean, it's all well and good to spend some time in these worlds. I mean, there's just some genuine art kind of going on sometimes, and just in the sunsets and the weather patterns and the pretty neon lights and, you know, whatever, that kind of shit. Like, one shouldn't forget about the artistry in these things, but one also shouldn't forget that these things are beautiful and they inspire us, and we like looking at them and experiencing them because they are, you know, a mirror of the world we live in. I mean, like, there's, hey, you look out your window, there's a real sunset out there, you know, and stuff smells different at sunset. Sunlight feels different. It's just different animals out there, and it's like the whole world kind of just settles the fuck down at sunset, you know, and you don't really get that feeling in a virtual space. I mean, they do a good job of it here. As you can tell, the traffic is slowed down, and then there's not a whole lot of pedestrians on the street. Like, they did a really good job kind of capturing sort of the subtle moments of reality, which is why I like doing these little talks in here. It kind of lends it an air of authenticity that allows you to kind of forget that it's not a real kind of image talking to you. It's just a reflection of my physical self. I mean, I kind of look like this, I guess. It seems more natural to me to just appear as who I am. But then again, I'm comfortable with who I am, so I don't feel the need to change my appearance to explore some other aspect of myself, you know. It's yeah, that's just life. You know, I say to people, experience stuff like this, you know, find out what it is about it that pisses you off. And maybe if your kids are in the room and you're a fan of GTA, like, you can show them that, hey, kids, you know, this is kind of cool. Like, I can only do so much stuff because, you know, it's bad otherwise. Like, a friend of mine, he's got kids, you know, one of them, I think, is like 8 or 9 years old. And, you know, depending what he's doing, he might let him watch him play GTA if he's just racing, you know. If you don't have anybody else on the chat with you, then you can't hear them cursing and swearing, right? So you turn the radio off, because let's be honest, there's a lot of swearing on the radio in this game too. But, you know, you can do it without, you know, a kid being traumatized. He doesn't go on a death match or something, kill hundreds of people, beat them to death with baseball bats, and golf clubs, and broken bottles and shit. I mean, it's a great stress reliever. You had a bad day, you'd be walking down the street, and, oh yeah, I forgot I was going to behave. You know, it's remarkably hard to behave yourself when you're in this world. I mean, I just wanted to show you that. Yeah, sorry, I didn't realize I was standing close enough to do that, but you see what I mean. Like, it's very easy to just sort of screw up and accidentally do something that you know, kind of violent and horrible. And even if your kid's just in the room, you're thinking, oh, they're not paying attention, right? Like, they're gonna see this sort of shit happen. Like, kids are more observant than you think. Like, you gotta watch out for that stuff. And if they understand that it's just goofiness and they're not real people, and that, you know, it's super wrong to do that to a stranger you've never met before, you know, like, maybe if they're trying to drown a bag of puppies, you should give them a, you know, poke upside the head, so that maybe they realize that they shouldn't do that. You know, like there's situations sometimes where you kind of have to react in a way that seems wrong, you know, for the greater good, I suppose. But and if a kid knows the difference for that and understands, you know, the kind of different, has the power to make those distinctions for themselves, then this game just, and no other game really has this power to corrupt them in any way. Like, it's just, you know, children are as prepared for the world as you make them, and to pile their problems into something like this. Well, you know what? If your kid wasn't given the tools to deal with life, and then they jump into this, and it has some sort of ill negative effect on them, like, it's, I don't know. I kind of put the onus on the world in general, and the parents especially, because you know, maybe, you know, it's not their fault. They don't know how to give the kids tools to deal with shit like this, because they weren't given them in the first place. Like, you know what I mean? So maybe it's not their fault, but that doesn't change the fact that it's their responsibility, whether they, you know, they have the tools to deal with it or not. You know, it's their kid. It's their responsibility. Like, fucking deal with it. Like, it might suck, but educate yourself. You know, you weren't given the tools to know how to raise a kid properly. Find out. You know, if you don't have the internet, go to the library. If you don't know what that is, it's a building usually located centrally in every town and city, and, you know, at least in North America that I know of. Maybe there's parts in the world that, you know, you can't get libraries, books. Maybe you go to jail for reading books. Like, those places exist. I mean, you know, like, some people, they really can't help it. Like, they don't have a way of giving themselves the tools to do so. But in a place like Canada, and a place like, you know, the United States, and any developed country in the world, there's just no excuse for people growing up and being born and not being given the things they need to live a normal life, you know, and not being given the tools to make believe in a world like this, where there are no fetters, and you know, you are given tools and abilities to be as violent or as peaceful as you wish. And I don't know. I think it's part of the endemic problem with kind of human species in general right now. And part of the problem we're having is for a while there was a lot of people who were taking guilt onto themselves for things that genuinely weren't their fault. You know, people who've been abused or taken advantage of, you know, or native peoples in any country who had their lands and their rights taken away by other people who've come to take their land from them. And maybe those people needed somewhere to live. Maybe they didn't. I mean, I'm not debating the whole morality of you know, population moves throughout the histories and stuff. I mean,
Over there!
what? Ah! So, oh, well, there's an important lesson. You steal cars, you're going to get chased by the cops. And they're probably going to shoot at you. You know, well, I guess I'm just going to end my ramble there. I'm too distracted now. I can't run from the police and monologue about stuff. So, well, I guess it's been nice knowing you. I'm just gonna turn myself in. Maybe now they're gonna arrest me. That's never good. Maybe I'm just gonna run. You know, this is a new suit. I was really kind of hoping I wouldn't have to get it dry cleaned for a while. Maybe if I get in this truck. Hey, do you mind if I borrow your? Sorry. Borrow the truck for a while here. And I just need to get somewhere quiet so I can finish what I was talking about. It's just, oh, Jesus, sorry, lady. She's all right. You know, she caught herself. Yeah. There we go. You know, I guess I could turn this into an opportunity for a nice, peaceful drive somewhere. Feeling maybe oh, yeah. See, like. Alright, alright. That's enough. So I've ruined a good suit. I've randomly killed a few civilians, even though I kind of promised I wouldn't. And, lost my points so badly I'll never get it back again. So I guess I'll sign off for now. I'm sure I'll get bored again and you know, want to do this some more. I can't see the moon. It's pretty shitty, so I'll just stare up at this street light and say, you know, it's a shitty day.